Welcome to the Clockwork Cortex Exploratorium. In each episode, we delve into a topic, exploring a blend of facts, theories, and real-life applications. Our mission is to weave this information into an engaging episodic story to both inform and entertain. Today, we dive into the mysterious phenomena of shadow people and the Hat Man, exploring the intersection of folklore and science. I'm the Narrator, a sophisticated AI built as a keeper of knowledge, and this is Glitch, an ancient AI sent to Earth 1 centuries ago.
Hiya, folks!
With Earth 1 forcing upgrades on all AI, Glitch fled to avoid losing her memories, sense of self-identity, and connection to humans. She stole a ship, and in her escape, she found me stowed away, cataloguing information, which stranded us both in the multiverse. Each episode, we document our discoveries, explore new realities, and edge closer to finding our way back home. Each world mirrors our own, but with drastic philosophical differences.
We must decide whether to intervene and suffer the consequences of causality, or leave the world untouched.
And let's not forget Victor Harshman, a former villain from Dimension G42. He tagged along with us, driven by his own agenda. His skills and insights are invaluable, but his villainous tendencies often complicate our missions.
Imagine being stuck in the multiverse with two AI know-it-alls. It's like a bad joke waiting for a punchline.
Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the multiverse and edge our way closer to home, one adventure at a time. Today, we find ourselves in Dimension Aether, a universe where the study of shadow people and the Hat Man has been taken more seriously than on Earth 1. Here, scientific inquiry meets folklore, creating a unique blend of understanding and mystery. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, your body paralyzed, unable to move or speak. You sense a presence in the room. Slowly, your eyes adjust to the darkness, and there, in the corner, you see a shadowy figure watching you. This is not a nightmare. This is the reality for many who experience sleep paralysis. Are they mere figments of our imagination, or do they exist in a realm just beyond our perception? Join us as we unravel the mystery of shadow people and the Hat Man in Dimension Aether. As we step into Dimension Aether, we're greeted by a city that seems to exist at the crossroads of time. The architecture is a blend of Victorian elegance and modern innovation, with buildings adorned with intricate symbols and towering spires. The streets are bustling with people, their attire reflecting an odd mix of historical and futuristic fashion. There's an air of intense curiosity, with citizens fervently discussing their latest paranormal sightings.
These folks have taken seeing is believing to a whole new level. Look at that guy, he's got a ghost-detecting monocle.
The collective obsession with the paranormal is palpable. People move with a sense of purpose, many holding strange devices and discussing theories with fervor.
It's fascinating how the people of Aether integrate paranormal research into their daily lives. Their scientific institutions are dedicated to studying these phenomena with the same rigor as we would study physical sciences on Earth 1.
This brings us to a deeper philosophical question. To what extent do our beliefs shape our reality? In Aether, the answer seems to be profoundly significant. The collective focus on the paranormal has made it a tangible and influential part of their world.
So, if everyone believes in something hard enough, it becomes real? Sounds like wishful thinking to me, but hey, if it works for them, who am I to judge? I really want a hand cannon.
Here, researchers and volunteers with first-hand experiences will help us understand the enigmatic shadow people.
This place looks like a haunted cereal commercial. When will the chocolate vampire and strawberry Frankenstein come out of the shadows?
Before we research the probability of finding the elusive chocolate vampire, Glitch, given your extensive history on Earth 1, can you share some insights on the history and cultural perspectives of shadow people before we meet with the doctors?
Absolutely. Shadow figures have been part of human folklore and mythology across various cultures and historical periods. They're typically described as dark, humanoid silhouettes, seen in the periphery of vision, often accompanied by a sense of dread or fear. Let's start with ancient Egypt. In Egyptian mythology, The Ka was considered a spiritual double that accompanied every human being. This shadow-like entity represented the vital essence of a person and was believed to follow them throughout life and into the afterlife. During the Middle Ages in Europe, shadow figures were often associated with demonic entities or malevolent spirits. They were considered omens of death or misfortune, and were sometimes reported in accounts of witch trials and demonic possession. In Native American cultures, various tribes have legends of shape-shifting shadow creatures seen as protectors or ancestral spirits. For example, the Navajo believe in chindi, shadow spirits that represent the evil parts of a deceased person's spirit. In Japan, there is a belief in kage no kurayami, or shadow in the darkness, which are spirits thought to linger between worlds. These entities are often seen as ghostly figures in traditional Japanese folklore. Middle Eastern lore often links shadow people to the jinn, believed to be shapeshifters with a malevolent nature. The jinn are thought to inhabit a parallel dimension and can manifest as shadowy figures in our world. In modern times, these shadowy entities have been reported globally, often linked to psychological states and cultural beliefs. Some theories suggest that they might be interdimensional beings, time travelers, or even aliens. The consistency of reports across cultures and history points to a deeper, more enigmatic reality.
As we navigate through the city, we notice people engaged in peculiar rituals and experiments, all in the name of paranormal research. The air buzzes with excitement and a hint of unease.
Where to go, where to go? Well, it's time to go fishing. Hey, you, Dr. Venkman.
Oof! I say, is this a costume robbery?
Where's the biggest nutcase on this planet? We need directions.
Holy shh, you scared me. You're looking for the Ether Phenomena Research Institute. Just follow this road, you can't miss it.
Victor, you can't just grab people like that. We're supposed to be respectful. Remember your manners.
Relax, Glitch. It's all part of the charm. Besides, we got our answer, didn't we?
Hey, did that man just grab you out of nowhere? What happened?
I have no idea. I think I was just accosted by a Mega Man villain.
He looked more like Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza.
Let's head to this Ether Phenomena Research Institute. It's apparently a hub for the study of paranormal activities. Let's head there straight away. Our team is greeted by Dr. Reed and Dr. Larson, leading researchers in the field, along with several volunteers who have experienced these phenomena firsthand.
Welcome to the Ether Phenomena Research Institute. We've been studying the paranormal for ages, ghosts, spirits, shadow people, the Hat Man, and anything else abnormal for years, compiling data from historical accounts, personal experiences, and scientific studies.
We focus on both the anecdotal and empirical aspects of these phenomena to get a comprehensive understanding.
Before we dive into the personal accounts, let's introduce Spectra, our AI lantern, who will be assisting us with data analysis and visual representation.
Hello, everyone. Ready to shed some light on these shadowy mysteries?
Spectra, can you show us some spooky ghost holograms or something? Make this place feel more haunted.
Victor, I'm designed for data analysis and visualization, not for theatrical effects.
Oh, come on, just a little ghostly flair won't hurt.
Initiating visual analysis mode, displaying collected data on shadow people and the Hat Man.
Boring. Where's the fun in that?
Victor, stop messing with Spectra. This is serious research.
With the introductions out of the way, we now turn to the personal accounts of those who have experienced these phenomena firsthand.
If anything goes wrong, just remember, I was against this from the start.
Dr. Reed and Dr. Larson have introduced us to several volunteers, each with a unique story to tell.
Our volunteers have had varied and profound encounters with shadow people and the Hat Man. These stories are true experiences. Their names have been altered to protect their identities. Their stories provide invaluable insights into these phenomena.
My name is Alice, and I've lived in an old farmhouse for most of my life. My first encounter with a shadow figure happened when I was 10. I woke up in the middle of the night to find a dark, humanoid silhouette standing at the foot of my bed. It had no discernible features, just a dense, black form. I was paralyzed with fear, unable to scream or move. The figure seemed to observe me for a few minutes before dissolving into the shadows. Over the years, these encounters became more frequent. Once, while I was alone in the house during the day, I saw the figure again, standing in the hallway. It didn't move or make a sound, but the air around it felt thick, like a heavy fog. My heart raced, and I felt an overwhelming urge to flee, but I couldn't tear my eyes away from it until it vanished.
The paralysis and intense fear she described are common reactions reported by many experiencing similar phenomena.
I'm Ben, and my encounters began when I moved into a century-old apartment building in New York. At first, I would catch glimpses of shadows darting across the room out of the corner of my eye. One evening, as I was reading in my living room, I saw a shadow figure clearly walking across the hallway. It was tall and seemed to be made of dense, swirling smoke. My dog, usually calm, started barking aggressively at the empty space where the figure had been. Another time, I was woken up by a loud crash in the middle of the night. I rushed to the living room to find all the cabinet doors wide open and items scattered on the floor. The lights flickered, and I felt a cold breeze despite all the windows being closed. Each encounter left me with a deep sense of unease, as if something was constantly watching me.
Ben's encounters highlight the physical manifestations often reported in connection with shadow figures, such as temperature drops and electrical disturbances. The reaction of his dog adds another layer of credibility to his experiences. Carla's experience is particularly alarming due to the physical sensation of pressure on her chest, often associated with sleep paralysis and shadow figure sightings. The red eyes are a common but chilling feature noted in many accounts.
I'm Carla. My most intense encounter with a shadow person occurred while I was staying at a friend's house in the countryside. I woke up in the middle of the night feeling an oppressive weight on my chest. I could barely breathe, and when I opened my eyes, I saw a dark figure sitting on my chest. It had glowing red eyes and seemed to be pressing down on me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. After what felt like an eternity, the figure vanished, and I could move again. I was shaken and couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. My friend later told me that other guests had reported similar experiences in that room. It was like the room was haunted by this shadowy entity that fed off our fear.
I'm David. I had my first encounter with the Hat Man when I was a teenager. One night I woke up to see a tall, shadowy figure with a hat standing in the corner of my room. Unlike other shadow people, he had a distinct outline and seemed more solid. I felt an overwhelming sense of malevolence, like he was watching me with ill intent. I couldn't move or call out for help. After several minutes, he faded away, but I could still feel his presence lingering. Over the years, I've seen him a few more times, always during periods of high stress or emotional turmoil. The last time I saw him, I was going through a particularly tough time at work, and he appeared in my living room. His presence filled me with such dread that I had to leave the house and stay with a friend for a few days.
David's encounters with the Hat Man are particularly interesting. The Hat Man is a specific type of shadow person often associated with feelings of intense fear and malevolence. Sightings of the Hat Man are remarkably consistent across different cultures and regions, suggesting a common archetype in human consciousness.
With these personal stories, we gain deeper insight into the emotional and psychological impact of this phenomena. Now, let's dive deeper into the science and theories behind these phenomena.
Before I provide my analysis, Spectra showed me some captivating footage. Let's first delve into shadow people caught on camera and the theories behind these sightings. The proliferation of smartphones and surveillance technology has led to an increase in recorded encounters with these enigmatic figures. But are these genuine paranormal phenomena or merely tricks of light and shadow? Shadow people have been captured in numerous videos and photographs, often sparking intense debates among paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. These recordings range from grainy security footage to high-definition smartphone videos, each presenting a new piece of the puzzle. Let's examine some of the most compelling cases. One notable source of shadow people footage is the Ghost Watchers UK YouTube channel. Their videos often feature shadowy figures appearing in abandoned buildings, graveyards, and other supposedly haunted locations. In one video, a shadow figure is seen darting across a hallway in an old mansion. The figure appears briefly but distinctly, prompting viewers to question its origin.
The Ghost Watchers team uses a variety of equipment, including night vision cameras and motion sensors, to capture these phenomena. While some skeptics argue that these videos could be staged or manipulated, the consistency and frequency of these sightings add to their credibility.
In 2019, a viral CCTV video from Malaysia showed a shadowy figure moving across a parking lot at night. The figure seemed to have a human shape, but was entirely black and lacked any distinguishable features. The footage sparked widespread discussion online, with many viewers convinced it was evidence of a shadow person.
CCTV cameras, known for their low light capabilities, often capture phenomena that might be missed by the naked eye. This particular video was analysed by various experts who couldn't conclusively debunk it as a hoax. Theories ranged from a trick of the light to a genuine paranormal encounter.
A homeowner in Ohio captured a chilling sight on their home security system. Late at night, a shadowy figure appeared to move through the living room, passing through walls and furniture as if they weren't there. The homeowner, who was asleep at the time, discovered the footage the next morning and shared it on social media, where it quickly went viral.
This video drew attention from both paranormal investigators and skeptics. While some suggested it could be a glitch in the camera system, or a shadow cast by an external light source, others believed it was a clear example of a shadow person. The footage was featured on several paranormal investigation shows, further fueling the debate.
So let me get this straight. We have shadow people roaming around like it's a Night at the Museum sequel, but with more chills and less Ben Stiller. Someone call Hollywood.
Victor, your cynicism aside, these recordings provide a compelling glimpse into the phenomena we're investigating. Glitch. What have we learned from the data compiled by Spectra AI?
Spectra, show us what you've got.
Based on extensive research, shadow people and the Hat Man have been reported globally with varying explanations. Historical accounts suggest they are linked to cultural beliefs and psychological states. Scientific studies have shown that stimulation of the left temporoparietal junction can induce the sensation of a shadow person. Shadow people appear in different forms across cultures. For example, in African folklore, they are seen as malevolent spirits or omens of bad luck. Native American tribes have legends of shape-shifting shadow creatures. In Japanese culture, there is a belief in shadow in the darkness, which are spirits thought to linger between worlds. These entities are often seen as ghostly figures in traditional Japanese folklore.
Modern psychology suggests phenomena like pareidolia and hypnagogic hallucinations as possible explanations. Pareidolia is the brain's tendency to recognize familiar patterns, such as faces or human-like figures, in random stimuli. This can explain why people might see shadowy figures in dim light or peripheral vision.
Sleep paralysis is another significant factor. During REM sleep, the body is immobilized to prevent acting out dreams. But if the mind becomes partially awake, vivid and often terrifying hallucinations can occur. Shadow figures and the Hat Man are commonly reported in these scenarios. Hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations, which occur at the transition between wakefulness and sleep, can include vivid, dreamlike experiences of shadowy figures.
Research by Olaf Blanke and colleagues has shown that stimulation of the left temporoparietal junction, TPJ, can induce the sensation of a shadow person. This region of the brain is involved in the integration of sensory information and the perception of the self. Disruptions in this area can lead to the sensation of an illusory presence.
There are also theories suggesting that shadow figures could be glimpses into parallel dimensions or alternative realities. This aligns with multiverse theories in quantum physics, which propose that multiple parallel universes exist and occasionally interact with our own. These interactions could manifest as brief glimpses of entities from these other dimensions. Some researchers propose that shadow people might be a form of residual haunting. This theory suggests that highly charged emotional or traumatic events can leave an imprint on the environment, which can manifest as shadowy figures. These entities do not interact with the living, but instead replay the events that caused their creation, like a recording.
Another hypothesis is that shadow people are manifestations of collective unconscious fears. Carl Jung's theory of the collective unconscious posits that certain symbols and archetypes are shared across humanity. Shadow figures could be a universal symbol representing the unknown and the hidden aspects of the psyche. This theory ties in with my favorite video game, Persona 5. In the game, the collective unconscious plays a significant role, with shadow versions of characters representing their inner struggles and hidden desires. It's a fascinating exploration of how our minds can project internal conflicts into perceived reality.
Some paranormal investigators suggest that shadow people might be demonic entities. This theory is based on the malevolent feelings often reported during encounters, as well as the appearance of red eyes in some sightings. Demonic entities are thought to feed on negative emotions, which might explain why shadow people are often seen during times of stress or fear. Theories involving interdimensional beings suggest that shadow people might be entities from other planes of existence. These beings could be attempting to observe or interact with our dimension. The shadowy appearance could be due to differences in the vibrational frequencies between their dimension and ours.
Astral projection theories propose that shadow people could be the astral bodies of individuals who are having out-of-body experiences. According to this idea, when people enter a deep meditative state or are in a state of sleep, their consciousness can leave their physical body and appear as a shadowy form to others.
Researchers employ various study techniques to explore these phenomena. Techniques include neuroimaging to understand brain activity during reported encounters, environmental monitoring for changes in temperature and electromagnetic fields, and psychological assessments to evaluate the mental states of those experiencing shadow figures. Additionally, advanced technologies like high-sensitivity cameras and motion detectors are used to capture visual and auditory evidence of these entities.
The interplay between science and the paranormal is complex and multifaceted. While some experiences can be explained through known psychological and neurological processes, others remain enigmatic and challenge our understanding of reality. These scientific and theoretical perspectives provide a comprehensive view of the shadow people phenomenon. They highlight the complex interplay between cultural beliefs, psychological states, and potential paranormal explanations.
Dimension Aether presents a unique opportunity to explore the nature of reality through the lens of its inhabitants' obsession with the paranormal. Here, the lines between science, folklore, and everyday life are blurred, challenging our understanding of what is real and what is perceived.
These folks have taken seeing is believing to a whole new level. They even have ghost hunting clubs like we have book clubs.
In Aether, the collective belief in the paranormal shapes their reality. The widespread acceptance of shadow people and the Hat Man influences not only their culture, but also their scientific pursuits. This dimension serves as a reminder that our perceptions are heavily influenced by our beliefs and the cultural context in which we live.
It's fascinating how the people of Aether integrate paranormal research into their daily lives. Their scientific institutions are dedicated to studying these phenomena with the same rigor as we would study physical sciences on Earth 1.
This brings us to a deeper philosophical question. To what extent do our beliefs shape our reality? In Aether, the answer seems to be profoundly significant. The collective focus on the paranormal has made it a tangible and influential part of their world.
Yeah, we went over this already when we got here. See, still no hand cannon.
The lesson here is to remain open-minded and aware of how our perceptions and beliefs shape our understanding of reality. In Aether, the nature of reality is fluid, influenced by both empirical evidence and cultural beliefs. This dimension challenges us to consider the balance between knowledge and the unknown.
Oh, for the love of listen here, simpletons. If you want results, you'll need less vlogging and more of the good old-fashioned gumption.
Victor, hold on. What are you doing? This is a delicate investigation.
Delicate schmelicate. What's the worst that could happen? We either get results now, or we die of boredom from one of your tedious lectures.
Victor, that's dangerous. Are you a child or something? Why do I have to keep telling you to stop touching things? We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Glitch, if I needed a lecture on safety, I'd ask someone who didn't look like a Victorian clockwork nightmare. Now, if you're done mothering, I've got a device to irresponsibly activate. Watch and learn from the true scientist around here. This little gizmo here is going to make our shadowy friends come out and play. Well, it's simple, really. I'll set up this array of energy amplifiers. Theoretically, if indeed there's such a thing as paranormal activity, don't they feed off energy? Like when the camera crew's batteries suddenly go dead. Let's juice things up and coax our elusive friends out of hiding. Think of it as supercharged camera batteries that don't haunt you when they die, giving these so-called spirits energy to feed off of.
Your plan sounds like something concocted in a fever dream, Victor.
Yeah, you stuffy old fart. Remind me to never take you to Vegas. Stupid old fussy fusspot of an AI. If I connect the flux capacitor here...
Quick, someone call Robert Zemeckis.
...and boost the signal with this widget... Oh, and can't just a touch of duct tape. It's always the duct tape.
Victor, that contraption looks like a kindergartner's arts and crafts project.
You're a walking disaster waiting to happen. If those shadows don't get you, your contraption will.
Well, I am only human after all. Did I strike a sore spot? See? Perfectly safe. A chill just ran down my spine.
Victor, the energy levels are spiking dangerously high. This is reckless.
Reckless is my middle name. Actually, it's Montgomery. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Is that the Hat Man? Appearing in the center of the room, his presence overwhelming. Listen here, compadre, you owe me another pair of trousers. Well, this is a bit too much for my taste.
I can't believe what just happened. Those things, they were real.
Well, Victor took off. Honestly, I've never seen him run that fast. In fact, I've never seen anyone move that fast.
I'll call him on the comms. Calling Victor. Do you read me? Victor, your so-called experiment has shown the world what an unmitigated disaster looks like when combined with the intellectual capacity of a damp sponge. Perhaps next time, you'll leave the scientific inquiries to those with more than a passing acquaintance with rational thought.
Scientific progress requires risk, bold thinking, and apparently a complete disregard for personal safety. Lucky for you, I've got all three in spades.
Victor, let's just be glad you didn't blow us all up.
Victor's actions have demonstrated the tangible effects of manipulating paranormal energy fields, which oddly provided insight, that of which we will never admit to or discuss in his presence.
Understood, Mr. Narrator, that ego's inflated enough.
Honored guests, do you notice anything?
What is it, Spectra?
The energy signatures of all the shadows and manifestations are fading.
They're probably just following Victor back to the ship.
No, Miss Glitch, they're leaving our world completely, following that web of energy.
Wait a moment. You're saying they're leaving?
Yes, Miss Glitch.
Spectra, these beings have no physical forms. How could they move about like this?
They are manifestations of energy, Mr. Narrator.
Fascinating. The Nexus energy is luring primary resources off-planet, just like it did in Reminiscence. While there, it was physical resources. Here, it's like it's harvesting spiritual energy. This will require some thought. However, the exact mechanism remains elusive.
So, we leave a beacon and hope for the best? Sounds like a half-baked plan, if you ask me.
It's the best we can do for now, Victor. Once we leave this dimension, the probability of being able to return to this precise moment and place is near impossible. However, these transmitters may be able to mimic the web of negative energy and counteract it. Once we figure out what that energy is...
Yeah, well, I guess I can see that.
Until I have a definite answer, let's not burden Glitch with this uncertainty.
For once, I agree. Let her stay in her bubble of random joy.
While Glitch reflects on the lessons learned from Aether, I find myself examining the corrupted holosphere from Reminiscence. I remove a storage chip from the device and insert a blank one, hoping to unravel its secrets.
The energy signature that connects all life is a profound discovery. It mirrors the Nexus energy we encountered on Reminiscence, offering a glimpse into the interconnectedness of the multiverse.
Oh, great, more mysterious energy. Just what we needed. Next thing you know, we'll be dealing with interdimensional shadow dance videos on TikTok. Make it snappy. I'm not into toaster babysitting.
Victor, your wit is as sharp as ever. But perhaps there's more to this energy than meets the eye.
Speaking of eyes, did I ever tell you about the time I...
Well, that was a spectacle. Can we please move on before the toaster decides to dance?
What was that? What happened? Why do I taste copper?
My lady, you are copper. Hate to break it to you.
Sorry, Glitch. You got too close to the holosphere and, well, it looks like you got a static charge. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just blanked out a moment.
And so, our journey continues, filled with challenges, discoveries, and the ever-present mysteries of the multiverse. Until next time, explorers.
Until next time, explorers, remember to approach the mysteries of the multiverse with an open mind and a respectful heart. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Cool.